So the question here is about training agreements, and what has been asked is if you're presented with the training agreement after the training has started or finished. Well, in order for your employer to be able to recover the money from you for the training, you would need to sign that agreement and agree to it. And therefore, if they're presenting it to you after the training has started, or they've paid for it, or you've completed the training, then there would be no obligation on you to sign that agreement, especially if it's not been discussed with you beforehand. And of course, if you don't agree to those terms and you don't sign that agreement, then there's nothing in which they can enforce to try to recover the money from you. So if you're in a situation where your employer's agreed to pay for training, you've started it or you have completed it, and then they come up to you and say, here, have this agreement, we want you to sign it to say you will repay us if you leave. You're under no obligation to sign that. Now, of course, if you've started the training and your employer gives you the agreement and says you need to sign it or we will stop the training, then it's going to put you into a tricky position. It could be that if your employer unreasonably requests that you sign this agreement partway through or threatens to stop the training that you've already started, that it could be a fundamental breach of trust and confidence between you. If you are partway through your training and they offer you a training agreement and say that they want you to pay some money back, then it's definitely worth having a discussion with them about that before you reject it or sign it. Ultimately, what you want to do is to obviously remain in good relations with your employer and hopefully finish the training so that it benefits both you and your employer. Hopefully this is helpful, but if you have any questions or want some specific advice about your situation, then don't hesitate to get in touch.